I'm the scat man. Yo, do, do, do. Skimmy, dimmy, ding, yo, do, do, do. Yo, do, do, ba, 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 bee, ba, 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 do. Ba, 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 do. Wee, ba, 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 do.
Happy Thursday, you juice pumpers. Welcome to NHL Puck Props presented by Bet99. Solo show today. Someone in the chat like yesterday, don't be afraid to say, hey, where's the other dude at? Carlo's slashing it around somewhere in Florida, I think. So we'll give him some time off. But it wasn't a bad thing having him off yesterday. Big day, almost a sweep. Went to bed after the second period of the Blues game. Didn't get the neighbors point. That would have been a great hit. It was sad to look at the scores and see the names and slide your thumb over. J. Dot, you're like, give me neighbors. Fuck. Oh, J. Period. Let's go. Kairu. We couldn't get the neighbors point. Stunk. But hey, Kuzadinov got our plus money point. I had the assist too at plus 220. Double in Nashville, Minnesota. I needed a Ryan Hartman point for an absolute monster. Didn't get it. Sillinger Coyle, early hit. That line is absolutely insane. And today might be maybe go sprinkle on Rick Bowness, coach of the year, as I was talking about yesterday. All the narratives around the other guys in the middle, right? In Pittsburgh, in Buffalo, in San Jose, in Anaheim. That they all have the same narrative. Bad teams making the playoffs. I think maybe those votes cannibalize each other, and you get someone who turned a losing team into maybe a juggernaut of a team who's running two goalies in Merzlikins and Jet Greaves, who've come off back-to-back shutouts. Great to see the pumpers going. Great to see everybody there for the last day of the NHL season before the Olympic break. Someone asked in the chat, is it an under day? I kind of draw back to the end of last year. I think the biggest stack day that we had in the entire season was game 82, the last day of the season last year. People going up and down. Maybe some looks on second lines, guys looking to empty the tank, as Carlo said yesterday. And top line guys who are going to the Olympics, maybe tiptoeing around the ice today. Don't want to pull a Sorelli, don't want to do too much, not a lot to play for, maybe whatever. But let's go. Nick Portal says, I was a Hartman point bashing. Yes, I needed that. It was a sad day not getting that Hartman point. A Hartman point would have made everyone's. I'm glad everybody else on that Hartman stuff too. Second line magic today. 7-game slate. We roll. And before we get into the picks, it's not just the picks that I throw out there too. Lots of other great information. Like we talked about the Kuzmenko birthday yesterday. It's one of the first things I do when I check. Go over to Hockey Database and go see whose birthday it is today. We have a couple birthday plays today. Kuzmenko, 2 goals on his birthday. Always a great angle. Money on the board for sure. McAvoy got absolutely demolished yesterday. Awful hit. Don't know how it wasn't 5. Circle a possible meeting if they meet again. And there were some people that were love that I played Kuzmenko 2 assists. Oh, that hurts. Birthday trends don't pan out often. Yeah, they're dabbles. It's not like, hey, birthday, unleash an entire unit on the play. Carolina, speaking of unleashing, Carolina's in a really good spot tonight. They're minus 230. Are they at home, Josh? No, they're away. So who the hell are they playing? They're playing the Rangers. Rangers are very bad. Very, very bad. Panarin just got shipped out. This team just wants to get to the break. Stahl, Ehlers, Gostisbehere. That is the combo. You can get Stahl and Ehlers. I know Stahl's off power play 1. I know I'm going back to Gostisbehere, who burned me in the last game, but plus 375 is probably about as big as you're going to get when you think that the Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis line, I think is paying like, what do I got? Plus 160 over at Bet99 for them to get a point. And they're all actually 0.5. I was surprised that Aho wasn't at 1.5 points. Yeah, I hate that for McAvoy too. He's been absolutely on fire. It was a dirty hit, and you saw Marco Sturm talk about it after the game, saying that he thought it should have been a 5 as well. These are the guys I want. If this is a Freddie Anderson start, we could see some more goals. We'll obviously see some more goals. I think that's easily stated. Anderson 2-4 straight up, 887 goals again, or 887 save percentage. And Bussy hasn't played. Bussy hasn't played in 3 straight games since December. So he's playing 2. Then Anderson comes in for 1. So probably a good spot where Bussy gets a break here. The Rangers 7-2-1 to the over, 2-8 straight up in their last 10. The worst goals against in hockey at 4.69 over the last 30 days. They do, however, have a giant rest advantage. They haven't played since January 31st. It's February 5th in a condensed schedule. They haven't played in 5 days. This game's also going to feature 2 of the top 5 power plays over the last 30 days. Stahl has a point in 4 straight. He's played 17 plus minutes. Power play 2. Trocheck and Laugh coming off a 3-point game. Zibanejad and Miller are the other stack. So you can go. What do I got? Svechnikov. The big one you can get is Svechnikov, Gostisbehere, Lafreniere, and Gavrikov if you're looking for a double-double. That's plus 900. Gavrikov's got points in 3 straight games. Zibanejad, Miller, Aho, Svechnikov is plus 50. Probably don't want to do that one. That's a little short. It is Will Cooley's birthday if you're looking. There's another guy you compare for a birthday anytime goal. Little Thursday sprinkle if you want. Should be some good odds. But I think I like the Stahl Ehlers combo, Gostisbehere. But if you're looking for a double-double, I think you go Svechnikov, Gostisbehere, Lafreniere, and Gavrikov, and that's plus 900. That's a decent one there. Nashville is becoming an absolute no double-doubles anymore. Lots of double-doubles. We hit one yesterday. You don't double-double every game. You can. If I talk about it, I know you guys just throw them in there anyway. Question from Austin T on the chat. Josh, what do you think about that line 3 PP2? Oh, we'll get to that. I love when you guys are already ahead of me. How do we not take Chinnikov at plus 130? I mean, how do you not take Novak on that same price? That's a big game. We'll get to that. Nashville's very exciting right now. Another game where you thought they were dead. They came back. They juggled the lines. They're facing Washington. One thing to know about Washington today is that Logan Thompson is eligible to come off the IR. But Stevenson, I actually probably think Stevenson's probably their better bet to win this game. 904 save percentage in 3 games. He's 2-1. I don't know if they want to get Logan Thompson maybe some work before they send him off to the Olympics and maybe risk more injury after some rust. But this is how we play this one. Jonathan Marchessault point at plus 115. I'm looking at my thing. I got to wait for the ticker to scroll across because I also have Forsberg, Marchessault, Haula plus 425. I think that's an incredible price for that line where 2 guys are power play 1 in Forsberg and Marchessault, and Haula's on power play 2. And they've been juggling the lines, so maybe Haula moves up to power play 1. So hopefully that keeps. But plus 425 for that line, which is basically line 1 right now, is pretty nasty price. But official play, Marchessault point, plus 115. The other line is Ryan O'Reilly, Stamkos, and Evangelista. That's plus 230. So you're talking 200 points difference between the two, which I don't know. I don't think there's that much difference between them. Marchessault played 19 minutes last night. 2 assists, points, 5 of his last 7. Love the Marchessault look. You're talking about a guy who hasn't done anything all year. He's getting hot, getting those opportunities, and the price hasn't matched up. Looking on the Washington side, they juggled lines last game. It's going to be tough to see what they have. Strome, Wilson, Protas played together late, but it was Ovi, Strome, and Beauvillier that started the game. The Nashville power play is a top 6 unit over the last 30 days. And it's Ethan Frank's birthday. He's plus 450 to get a goal. You want a birthday goal parlay, Ethan Frank and Will Cooley. Do I like either of those guys? No. Is it their birthday? Yes. Is it their birthday before break, before both of them are probably going to Punta Cana or wherever? I don't know. Rich people probably don't go to Punta Cana. Cancun, maybe someone else. Evangelista has been paying the bills. Evangelista has been – the 2 lines have been amazing, and it's only the 2 lines scoring. Chinkov goal with Gino and Novak assist is plus 900. I don't like that at all. I would ride. I can get you a better plus 900 than that. That doesn't include a goal. Islanders, Devils. It's a pick 'em. It's 5.5. probably, I don't know who's in net. I don't know who's in net for the Islanders. Rittich is actually starting to play some better hockey. Sorokin, when he has bad games, but he's still the betting favorite for the Vezina Vaz. He's catching up. We're just getting cute. We're just getting very boring here. Horvat and Barzal. Plus 110. It is the new combo that is something you want to look for every game at even money or better. Yes, they might be an all or nothing offense, and there's no Palat point, but Barzal and Horvat in an overtime game last game played 24 plus minutes each. Only Matthew Schaefer played more minutes. Time on ice is important. The difference between 24 plus minutes and a second line guy playing 60 minutes or an offense that maybe runs 3 lines, right? Like Pittsburgh, like the Crosby line isn't getting 20 minutes a game. They're rolling 3 lines. So all of those lines, the lower lines, have more value. But when they lean heavy topside, like the Islanders are with Bo Horvat and Matt Barzal, then there's a ton more value on these guys than, say, someone in the vein of, I don't know off the top of my head, Zegras and Konechny, or Zegras or Konechny and Dvorak, when everybody's, I don't know, when there's 3 lines running in Philadelphia. New Jersey still a dead offense. This probably maybe a low-scoring game, but no Hughes. They were blanked by Elvis Merzlikins last game. Under 2.5 in 6 of their last 10. Under 2.5. New Jersey paying plus 115. Not a bad look there. Ottawa facing the Flyers. And we go Claude Giroux for a point at plus 115. I know he's played the team. It's not like, but it's still Claude Giroux going back to Philadelphia. It's still a big thing. And he's playing on the best line with Stützle and Batherson. He has points in 3 of his last 4. He's playing power play too, but I would like, if you want to put the whole line together at plus 250, go for it. But I don't think the move from Stützle and Batherson is only worth it's close, like 135. But the Giroux point at plus 115 is there. I think that's it. Top line power play too. The other line, the other line is Tkachuk, Cousins, and Ridley Gregg. 8 wins in the last 10 games combined between these two. Not great, but Ottawa's 4-0 and 1 in their last 5 games. Linus Ullmark is back. It's a good team that hasn't been able to get a save all year, and Ullmark comes in and has stopped 40 of 43 in his 2 games back. The market really loves Ottawa. I'm surprised this isn't a little shorter. Philadelphia is better with Dan Vladar back. He's played 4 straight games. Urson's out. One of those games was not a start. 2.7 goals against, 894 save. But this is a Philadelphia team that you still can't trust. Tocchet had a 22-minute conversation with Trevor Zegras on the ice yesterday. That can't be fun. And obviously we saw Danny Briere talk about the Michkov situation. It's not a great team to back. Nice to see Jonathan Davis there in the chat. Hello. Giroux, 13 points in 11 games versus Flyers. Love it. Stützle, 10 goals in 14 games versus the Flyers. Love it. Stützle eats the Flyers for breakfast. So then we load up on this line. And there's nothing I like on the other side on Philadelphia. How much Swiss cheese do we have from the Flyers over the last 2 weeks of trying to get that Konechny, Dvorak, Konechny, Zegras? It's been brutal. Hello from Greece, Europe. We know the continent. Appreciate it. Thanks for all. Thank you for listening. Yeah, Zegras spoke for 1 minute talking. It just looked like a very unprofessional spot to have a 20-minute conversation just standing there. Is Tocchet a good coach or a better broadcaster? Probably a better broadcaster. I don't know. The move from Tocchet from Torts didn't seem like a culture change. That's my opinion. I don't know. Philadelphia is it's still not a great team that implodes, and it's a tough media market too that gets on the players and has to deal with a lot of things. Players probably would rather just play in San Jose and not have to deal with crap. But welcome to Philadelphia. Giroux point. Big Giroux guy today. Pittsburgh, Buffalo. What a great game. What another great game we got here. Right? 2 absolute wagons. Pittsburgh 7-3 straight up in their last 10. Buffalo 6-2-2. And this is where we go. I love how you guys were already on it. Brazeau, Mantha, Kindle, plus 550 over Bet99. It does sound like Toronto now, Doc. I think if you look at media, fans, and kind of the effect it has on the team, I think the closest correlation to Toronto would probably be Philadelphia in America. I know it's tough in Edmonton. It's probably, I don't know. The other teams suck, so who knows? And Montreal. Montreal's probably tough too, but I'm sure the language situation is a little different with the francophones. But who doesn't love Brazeau, Mantha, Kindell plus 550? This line is a wagon. Like if I could bet on the fourth line right now, the Achari line, I'd be betting on that too. This is the best bottom nine in all of hockey. Crosby finally got on the score sheet, but it hasn't been that top line that's been doing anything. Russ is back after the suspension. The Eagles are done. Time to jump on the Flyers. Ooh. Someone's talking about Giroux assists. Giroux's been piling, but has actually been finding the back of the net lately. The Mantha line has been great. And then we go, and then I want more, right? And then where do you go more on the other side? You go with basically the only line that has caught me every time I've fallen in the NHL this year. And that's the Quinn McLeod line. I don't even care if they're not playing power play one together. Quinn McLeod, Chinnikov, Novak, plus 1,100. Sign me up. I don't even know if I put it in the banner. Did it in the banner? Probably not. Is it there? See if it's down at the bottom. Yeah, it's there. Slap it up there. I'm slapping it up there. Boom! Because I'm an idiot, and that's why. I'm like, why didn't he put it? Oh, yeah, because I put Nashville like a turd sandwich. Also, one of the best South Park episodes. Sorry, producer Mick. There's a double-double. Quinn McLeod, Chinnikov, Novak, plus 1,100. I was working through that. I'm like, okay, let's go get the triple. Add Zucker, add Malkin. I think it only gets to plus 1,500. Okay, let's go on the high end. Let's take Malkin and take Quinn and take Zucker because they're power play correlated, and we got a bad number. This is a big number. It's really difficult to get plus 1,100s right now. And this is where it is. The Quinn McLeod line, I think, has just been the best ROI in all of hockey. Chinnikov at plus 165 for a point on that second line with Malkin and Chinnikov. Great, solid single point play. One of those ones where you're like, okay, let's go through the list of games and pick those one outlying prices and make a monster guy. I made one yesterday, $25 for like 5K. I think something like that, as I'm looking at the games here, it'd be like Stahl, Holla, Palat if we could get it, Giroux, Novak, Balinskis, and then you go to bed, and then you don't even do the 10 o'clock game. I think that's where I would go with that. Maybe I'll share that one today. It's not one that I always share because it's a loser and it's probably a very minus EV bet, but it's always fun and important to have those. Yeah, you can have your plus 110s, your plus 250s. Those are exciting, but having that big one in the account around 6:45, 6:50 Eastern time, that's when things get sweaty. That's when that 10 minutes or that 15 minutes before the first puck drop seems like an hour. Florida, Tampa Bay. Are we going to see some penalties in this game? Are we going to see some power plays in this game? Are we going to get a Lundell or Listerine point prop? We will, but they're not there yet. And I want that. I want the Lundo, Listerine point prop. They were playing with Reinhart at the end of the game. They didn't start together, but they were playing together late. So who do we take? Power play, maybe some power play situations. Our old buddy, Juvis Balinskis. Scored again. Goal and assist last night. Power play 1. He can probably still get his power play point for like plus 450. It's been the slowest moving thing ever. I just think that Florida comes back with a pretty big game. They're going to step up to Tampa. I know they got 100 guys on that team that are going to the Olympics. Tampa does as well. Gensel's playing with the big boys on top. You're not going to get any value in Kucherov play. I think he's minus 850 for a point. But wait to see what happens with Florida. Going to be a late ad because I want to see the lines with Florida. It's going to be, 7:30 start? So maybe look for a tweet sometime around then. I don't even think about Tampa Bay second lines. I know they seem sexy. They don't do anything. They really don't do anything. This is such a top-heavy line that continues to win. Not sure who we'll see in Florida. We saw Bob last night, probably Tarasov. Tarasov's been the better goalie for Florida. Let's see what the boys in the chat. But Balinskis for a point at plus 175 is big, big money for a power play that had some success yesterday. I love Balinskis too. Love to see it. Let's see what you little pumpers are saying there in the chat. Damn, I did the same parlay, but got Malkin instead of Novak for plus 800. So those are, when you're putting those doubles together, always work between the lines and see, because honestly, there are some trickeries involved in how they price those. Because sometimes you can take a guy away. You could add, like, sometimes, like, you have Malkin on it, or sorry, you have the longer price guy. Maybe it's plus 800, and then you change him for the same line mate for the shorter price guy, and it's still plus 800. You can work your way around some things, because it's the multiplier isn't, what word would I describe this? It isn't just straight. It's not linear. It doesn't go straight across the board and change this way. It's like, okay, the books know what lines guys are on now. If you haven't known that, then you should know that. Like, you can click on guys who are on lines 5-on-5. Boom. You click on one guy, you go to his line mate. He's plus 200 for a point with his line mate. But maybe the other guy who's shorter, who's not on his line, is actually like plus 300. That exists. So play around with those doubles and find out, because you can grease your way into sometimes getting a better priced player at the same odds. That is the more you know thing for Thursday. He's 850 tonight after scoring past 2 nights at plus 750. Yeah, he scored in back-to-back games. Hey, Josh, who do you like for top USA goal scorer in Milan? Boldy at 10-1, second line with Matthews again. So we don't know the lines yet, honestly. We'll figure it out. One guy that is incredible value, who was the scariest person in the Four Nations for Team Canada. Watching him terrified me. Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk numbers are not in line with what his role will likely be. Brady Tkachuk was terrifying around the net. No one's going to move Brady Tkachuk around the net. Those little teams, maybe like Canada will, but those other teams, no, not a chance. Zach Werenski it'll be interesting to see who runs. Is it Werenski who probably runs power play 1? So what I'm suggesting, and we're going to get to the live shows on Wednesday, and every day there's hockey. There's a day off, and then there's the women's medal round. So there's 2 days off between Wednesday and then the following Sunday. We'll be doing live shows for that. So this is your one-stop everything Olympic hockey talk shop. You come in here, let me know. That will be my job from Wednesday to next Sunday. Every game, 6:10 to 3:10. We will find it. It's not an easy thing to price unless they just nuke all the odds, which is actually an easy way to price. So either Brady or Gensel. I'd have to see the prices, but I know Brady for a fact. His price is down there. I did look at to lead Team USA in goal scoring. If you can't stack, would you take Lundell at plus 115? Yes, Lundell at plus 115 is awesome. I didn't see his price at all today. That's why I couldn't get the Luosterainen price. But plus 115, PP1. The guy played 24 minutes last night. It goes back to that time on ice. Keep an eye on time on ice. Lundell at plus 115. Lundell at even money. Even Lundell at minus 110. Somewhere around that. Lundell is a good spot. Tampa Bay, obviously, giving up some goals at times, playing some shootouts, but really like that combo. Last game, I got nothing. Kings, Vegas, it's Thursday night. My back hurts. The last game's at 7:30. This is at 10. I don't care. Panarin won't play. He'll join the team over the break. Vegas coming off a 5-2 win. Congratulations. You beat Vancouver. They're still not a good team that continues to hit overs. It's probably a Forsberg start, I believe, for the Kings, and he's actually been very good. Aiden Hill start, likely for the Knights. He's been very bad. Ooh, Lundell and Ublis point. Love it. Draw, JPC says that's it. Hit the draw, go to bed. They didn't draw again last night, did they? No. They lost, right? Seattle, wagon. Yeah, 4-2, Kraken. I think the Kings are a bad team. I put out a tweet yesterday. It's a team that sits 20th or worse in most expected metrics. I don't like the Kings. The books like the Kings. I think there's value against them. Brant Clark plus 750 anytime goal, 2 goals in 2 games versus Hill. Vancouver, every team gets they're the slump busters. Rich and Van City. Yes, your team is like I won't use that that comparison, but like if you've ever been a guy and you're like, oh, I'm in a cold spot. The slump buster. That's what the Vancouver Canucks are. Unless you are, who did they beat? Who lost 2-0 to Vancouver? That's a good question. Who lost 2-0 to Vancouver the other day? That was an embarrassing one. Kuzmenko power play point plus 450. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to take a look and to see how they went back to their power play. I'm not sure if Kopitar went in. Yeah, Anaheim 2-0. Thank you, Jonathan Davis. That was a tough spot. Kuzmenko, if you're going to bet Kuzmenko, just get the power play point. I think he's playing like 13 minutes a game. That's probably the best spot if you can get 400 or better. The players will hate if they go to OT. So you can speculate all you want that because it's the last day before the break and maybe there's not going to be a lot of whistles or there's not going to be a lot of penalties or power plays and it could be run time. You might be right, but that might not just correlate straight to under hockey. I think under hockey is more, we are in it, we're skating hard. I think lackadaisical hockey opens up the game and leaves goalies out to dry, more or less. That's just how I feel. Winnipeg blew up the 4-game. I know. Thank you very much, Winnipeg. The 4, okay. And the last thing, let's take a look at the 2-way scoring games. Carolina and the Rangers. The Rangers at home, they suck at scoring. But if we get Freddie Anderson, you got to score 2 goals. You just traded Panarin. That's a deep one. Nashville, Washington, yes. Islanders, Devils to score 2 goals each? No. Ottawa, Philadelphia. Ooh, does Philly have the offense? I lean yes, but I only want 4. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, yes. Florida, Tampa Bay. Only because I could see maybe just 2 teams that obviously hate each other and getting some power play points. So if I had to take my 4 best, both teams to score 2+ goals on the slate, Florida, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Nashville, Washington, and the Rangers. Rangers, Carolina, or Ottawa? Let's go Ottawa. Ottawa, Philadelphia. Philadelphia scores 2. But I could just see the Rangers just coasting in on another shutout. Wouldn't that be a great bookend to the beginning of the season? The Rangers get shut out at home again, just prolonging that narrative and, I don't know, just being all Rangers like. We're done this week. Aren't NHL refs going to Milan too? I'm not sure. It's a good question. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, both teams to score 2+ with New Jersey. Team total under 3.5. Ooh, now we're getting cute. LA, Vegas, both to score 2 from Jonathan Davis. If it's Tarasov versus Johansson for Tampa Bay, Florida, both teams will play tight to give their backups a shot. I've always wondered that. Just because it's a backup, do teams play more intense because the backup goalie's there? I think Carlos kind of put ice on that. Trocheck has gone downhill since Panarin left, but I think Trocheck and Laugh are both coming off 3-point games. That's it. 30 minutes. You get 30 minutes of me today. We got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. The opening games Friday, opening ceremonies. Andrea Bocelli, watch out for that. Me and John Metler got our touchdown fantasy draft coming this Sunday, and I am scared to take my family to the worst rated restaurant in town, but I think I win, and John Metler has to go to a bowling alley and cannot leave until he bowls a 200. That could take a long time and cost him some money. And then me and John also have our Olympic coverage betting challenge. Go Pats. And shout out, give some luck to producer Mix Pats, who will shock the world in Super Bowl 60 on Sunday. Hopefully nobody tears their ACL or has some soft tissue injuries because of those magnetic fields out there in California. Plus 180. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks to the pumpers as always. My favorite thing. Josh, why do you just sit here and talk for 30 minutes? Because I like to talk hockey with you guys in the chat. That's my favorite thing to do. And after this, I go back on the computer, go look at some other things, but this is my favorite part of the day. Seeing what you guys like. I love when I get on this and you're like, hey, Josh, what do you think about this line? Already betting it. Same, but different. Let's have a great Thursday. Wrap up the first, 59% of the NHL season, Olympics, Super Bowl, baseball's around the corner, World Baseball Classic, World Cup in the summer. Don't look outside if you live where I live. I appreciate everybody here. Hit that like button on the way out. Let me know your best bets down in the comments. Puck Props presented by Bet99. Josh Inglis riding solo. We back Wednesday with some guests. Carlo's back. Todd Furman's going to join the show talking about how hard it is to price and some of the edges maybe we have as bettors betting into a new market like the men's Olympic hockey. Have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend. All right. Be sharp, be smart, and be safe. We'll see you later.
I'm the scat man. Yo, do, do, do. Skimmity, yo, do, do, do.